Wherever you go, you shine. You need to know you shine. Anything you wanna be. Yeah. 'Cause you give me hope when you shine. Wherever you go, you shine. Shine, yeah. You need to know you shine. Anything you wanna be. Anything you wanna be, yeah. So you give me hope when you shine. So you give me hope when you shine. Morning! Happy Sunday! Standing outside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place here for you. You know there's peace inside, still you're searching for someone who understands the pain with you through. But the doors are locked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, just come on in. You'll find a place of rest in the arms of spirit. God has waited so long for your home, girl. Yeah. God knows the peace you see and the hurt you're feeling. Spirit wants to hold it to wipe your tears away. The Father waits with open arms. God is calling out your name. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, just come on in. Well, there's room enough, the house of love, for someone just like you. Whoa, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, just come on in. Yeah, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, just come on in.
Good morning, everybody. So glad you all came on in this morning. I'm Bev Spivey. I co-minister here with the wonderful and multifaceted Reverend Lawrence Palmer. And we got a lot of ministers in the house today. A little bit later, you'll be hearing an official introduction, but we're very pleased to welcome Unity ministers and friends, Reverend Rob Robinson and Reverend Aliza Bloom. They are married, and Aliza will be our speaker today and workshop. So I'll tell you about them later, but welcome you too. Nice to have you here.
So many married ministers.
How about that?
Wow, marriedministers.com. There you go.
But it takes a while to get some of us, it took a while to get the right one.
That's true.
Just saying. Better late than never, absolutely. Well, if you're new with us today, just know that we believe that joy and humor is definitely a gift of spirit. So we invite you to relax and have a wonderful time with us here this morning. To our live streamers, hello and welcome to this spiritual community. Please feel a part of us. So as we start today, we are very thrilled to have our musicians under the direction of James McCoy.
Good morning. We're so pleased to have Mr. David Siegel, direct from Las Vegas, Nevada, right here with us this morning. And direct from Cincinnati, Ohio, on drums, Mr. Pedro Barroas. And our featured soloist, direct from Boynton Beach, Florida, Karina Iglesias. And we have music from, I'm not kidding, we have music from Rascal Flatts this morning and Al Green. There you go. No, it's not Let's Stay Together.
Okay. As we start, we want to remember that this year, and we're so thrilled to have this theme that is the theme throughout the Unity churches, one humanity, many stories, because we recognize that in our oneness of humanity, each of us has our own story, our own path of how we got to where we are. And here in Unity, we have learned to appreciate that. All of the bumps along the road, here we are. So as we share in this theme this month, of course, being February, our theme is love. And it is the love month. Love for self, love for others, love in relationships, and even love in the work environment if you can stretch that far. So let us take in this affirmation together. I am a living, loving expression of God right here and now. And let's reflect on that love as we state our vision together. Centered in God, we create an ever-expanding spiritual community of one. And we see ourselves with this mission statement. We are a spiritual beacon of inspiration, abundance, and enlightenment. So let's take that into prayer. Just a time of centering, closing our eyes and feeling the energy and the love and the warmth in this sanctuary. For many of us, it's a spiritual home or a spiritual community. Those tuning in to us also find community here. We welcome all who are here this morning and know that truly you are welcome here. And as we center our thoughts on being here now, we release all of the scrambled mind that may be with us, and we just relax into knowing that today there is music and lesson, joy and insights to be held and to share. And so it is. Amen. And as we do every Sunday, we have a prayer together. And this Sunday, it's a prayer for our nation. So won't you join me in this, please? We have faith in the love and wisdom of God within every person and situation. We affirm that our country's citizens and its leaders are guided to positive, prosperous, harmonious action that manifests the highest good for all people. And so it is. Amen. Let's stand and sing together.
From Godspell, the Music of Steven Schwartz.
Day by day, day by day, oh dear Lord, the things I pray, to see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day. Day by day, oh dear Lord, three things I pray, to see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day, day by day, day by day. Oh dear Lord, three things I pray, to see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day, day by day, day by day. Oh dear Lord, three things I pray, to see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day, day by day, day by day. Oh dear Lord, three things I pray, to see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day, day by day, day by day, day by day.
If you are here for the first time, we want to assure you that you are welcome, and we have a welcome brochure to give you. So would you raise your hand, please, if this is your first time? Welcome. It's nice to have you here. Patrick. Oh, excuse me. You do have a guest. Kathy, you are welcome. Everybody is welcome after the service to go next door for fellowship time. We have snacks and socializing, and it's good to get together and meet some new people if you like, and just get to know each other a little more. So everybody's welcome to fellowship time. Prayer is also very important here. We invite you to come a little early, and starting at 10:30 in the first room on the right in the hallway there is the prayer chapel. And we invite you to come and sit for private prayer, just quietly, or there's always a chaplain in there. If you wish to have a chaplain pray with you, they would be happy to do that. Our chaplains also stand at the end of the service in the altar aisles, and they are there for you to have prayer at the end of the service. So take advantage of experiencing our wonderful unity prayer style, which is affirmative, positive prayer. We also have I forgot to mention the prayer slips in the chair backs too. If you would like prayer, there are blue slips that you can fill out and place in the prayer chest that'll be brought up during our meditation time, or give to one of us, one of the ushers, and we will see that the chaplains get your prayer requests. Okay, and now Aliza is going to be speaking with you this morning, and then her workshop today is 3 keys to finding peace in chaos. And I know for many of us this will be a very timely and appreciated workshop. So her workshop is going to be right here in the sanctuary. It's on a love offering basis. We will begin at 1 o'clock. So if you are attending the workshop, have some snack. There's plenty of food over there. Our wonderful volunteers make sandwiches and food to tide you over till 3 o'clock. If you are not going to attend the workshop, and I would be hard-pressed to know why you wouldn't, but if you aren't planning to stay for the workshop, would you please let those who are go ahead of you to make sure they have some food so they can make it through. Aliza, this group likes to eat, so we always have to be sure that everybody's well fed. We also, normally this is our Sunday to have Sunday sessions, the discussion time and whatever questions are on your mind to speak with Reverend Lawrence about, and he shares more on the topic for the month and the year. So we have rescheduled that to next Sunday, and we will have sessions on next Sunday. Celebration of Love is coming up on Friday night. Judy Ebmeyer is here. Wave your hand, Judy. Judy and a team of helpers have the decorations ready. One of the things we're going to do with this event is have a professional photographer come prior to the event and take some photos that we can use on our website as we begin to promote ourselves as a wonderful wedding venue. So we will have the sanctuary and fellowship hall decorated for those who want to have a wedding or a holy union or some other formal celebration here. Now, while this isn't formal, we're saying just dress up and come on out. The celebration of love is for everybody. We especially want the singles to come out. No moping around on Valentine's Day that you don't have a Valentine, and none of that nasty appreciation that you got rid of your former Valentine. So this is a celebration of love. So come on out. We're asking if you would go on to our website and buy a ticket, $25. The first hour will be in the sanctuary with Lawrence and me, and Lawrence will be leading us in a couple different rituals and ceremonies to celebrate love, of self, of community, and also if you are interested in having a vow renewal, we will do that during the service as well. So please see us today if a vow renewal is on your mind for this. But we will have general commitments for everybody. So come on out for that, and then following we'll have a wonderful party in Fellowship Hall, complete with cake and punch and Judy's wonderful decorations and a photo booth. So we ask you to come out. We have said no tickets at the door because it just makes it less hectic for us. So you can buy your tickets right up until Friday, but then we'll be able to print off the list, and then you just show up and come on and check on in. So Becky will also be available and others after the service that you can buy your ticket today. And we'd love to know just how many to expect. So please keep that in mind. We also want to call your attention to membership. Next Sunday, for those who are interested in membership, we ask that you attend an orientation time. And we will hold that in the sanctuary. So we're going to be relocating sessions to another one of the rooms. But in here, we will have membership orientation. If you are already a member, but have not ever been to one of our orientations or would like a refresher on the history of the Unity Movement, the love story of Charles and Myrtle, our founders, our focus on prayer, and how we're organized and run here locally, please come out for that next Sunday. And then on the 24th, the following week, is our annual meeting where we will gather here. Anybody is welcome to come to this, but it's members only who will be able to vote. And every year we elect a board of directors. So if you have had on your mind that you're interested in a board position, you need to speak to our nominating committee people today. The chair of nominating committee is Rick Riccardi, right here. And our board member on the nominating committee is Carmela Garone. And Steve Roberts. Cynthia, is Steve here today? Yeah, there's Steve. Steve Roberts is also on the nominating committee, and they have been vetting people, and it's their job to come up with the slate for us. There are no write-ins or nominations from the floor. So keep that in mind and be prepared to plan to be here on the 24th. That meeting is very important to our membership because you are the ones who hold the responsibility for Unity of Pompano. Is that it? Oh, my goodness. Let's stand and greet each other, and any kids are here for Sunday school.
Let's all sing. Weave us together, unity and love. Weave us together, in love.
Yeah. Does it feel okay? All right. That's the most important thing. And as James says, when the music stops, we sit down.
And when the music stops, we all sit back down. Thank you.
I look at you during these moments and I think, puppies. There we go. We're getting there. Except for the troublemakers here. Well, it is my privilege to get to introduce our guest speaker this morning, who's going to be up here in a little bit, but that reminds me of a story. I always get a little bit nervous when it's my turn to introduce someone, remembering back when I was in the Baptist church. You know, we used to have a revival meeting every year, a whole week, every night coming to church. And there was always a guest speaker coming in. So this one particular occasion, the minister was a good friend of mine. He was local. So on the last night, which is the big hurrah, his wife came with him. So I was introducing him, and I'm so glad that she was there. And I don't know why this happened, but I said, and we're so glad to have Reverend Barnes with us. And Brother Barnes, I'm so glad that your mother could come with you. There was this collective gasp. So I have been nervous doing this ever since. So Aliza, I'll see what happens here. I want to give you the formal introduction first, and then I'll tell you the down and dirty. All right? Aliza and I have known her. Touching hearts, freeing souls, and transforming lives is what Reverend Aliza Bloom Robinson does. She is a best-selling author, speaker, and vibrational catalyst. She inspires and teaches others how to step into a greater ease, discover your deeper dreams, and live the life you love. Having been an ordained minister for over 18 years, Aliza is founder of the Center for Divine Awakening, dedicated to the transformation of the planet, one soul awakening at a time. She is faculty for the online Unity Worldwide Spiritual Institute and has been a teacher for Ron Smith in his studies. Aliza brings a sparkle, light, and a sense of delight and wonder to all she offers. She and her husband, Reverend Rob Robinson, split the time between Arizona and Arkansas, except when they're traveling the country in their travel trailer on book tour. Aliza's books include Falling into Ease and Paradox of Awakening, Finding Peace in a World of Chaos. That's a good one, yes. And now the other introduction. Aliza, I was going to say Aliza and I go way back, but not that far back. We're too young for it to go that far. But in another region, I was regional representative and had an opportunity to work with her in several capacities, as well as Rob. Rob at one time served as minister of Unity Village Chapel, among other wonderful places too. So we're so glad to have the two of them here. I think probably for me, coming from me, the biggest compliment I can give is that I know that Aliza loves unity, and I know she loves people. And that's enough reason for me to claim her as friend. So she will be blessing you in just a little bit as she shares the message with you. I am also to share with you the daily word for today. On Sunday, February the 10th, the word for today is spiritual being. I begin each day dedicated to fulfilling my spiritual purpose. Because I am a spiritual being, I am more than a physical body. My needs go beyond food and water. I find spiritual nourishment in prayer and meditation. Jesus knew the importance of realizing our inseparable relationship with the divine and taught that God is a living presence within. Realizing the importance of this teaching, I now recognize that the more time I spend in prayer, the more I will experience a sense of oneness with God and with all creation. Any earthly challenges are transformed by the divine presence within. I release all concerns with the quiet realization, a gentle knowing that the spiritual being I am is not limited in any way. And from Psalm 40, then I said, here I am. In the scroll of the book it is written of me. I delight to do your will, O my God. Your law is within my heart.
Right now, as the prayer chest comes forward, we'd like to begin a time of prayer and meditation by singing together, I Am Love.
Skin on the outside.
So we take the words and the energy and the vibration of that song into our time of meditation. I invite you to close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, become willing to shift your awareness from the outer to the inner. Begin to drop your awareness from your head, your thought, down into your body. Become aware of the chair that supports your body. Feel your feet on the floor. And bring your awareness to your heart. And know that God, that Spirit, that Source is love. And that you are created in and as love. As you bring your awareness into the palpable presence of love, allow your body to relax. Allow your mind to begin to quiet. And feel your heart opening with this truth. Feel your heart softening with this truth. You are love. And you are loved beyond measure. And you are lovable forever. Now let my words be your words. I am love. Feel it in your heart. Feel it in your being. I am love. No matter what, I am love. Open to it. Soften to it. Receive it. I am love. Dropping even deeper, I am loved. I am loved by Spirit, by Source, by creation, by myself, by others. I am loved. Let this truth touch you deeply in a new way. Let it open you more fully in a deeper way. And know this truth for yourself. I am lovable. Just the way you are. Bring into an awareness, an experience of being, feeling, knowing love or lovable. Could be with a child, a grandchild, a pet. Could be with nature, a sunset or a beach or a mountain. And allow that very presence of love to permeate, to penetrate, to fill the inner spaces of your being, to open your heart. Open your heart and know the truth. Open your heart and know love is the very foundation of your being. in the silence, know this love for yourself. Know this love for this ministry. Know this love for this planet. And feel that love as it expands, encircling our globe. Imagine that every single person on this planet might come to know love today. And feel that encircling, empowering, embracing love come right back around to your own heart. Let yourself be moved. Let yourself be touched. I am love. You are love. I am loved. You are loved. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, know the truth as we pray it in the name and through the power of the living, loving presence. And so it is, and so we let it be, and we anchor that in by singing together, Alleluia.
I've dealt with my ghost and I've faced all my demons, finally content with the past I regret. I found you find strength in your moments of weakness. For once I'm at peace with myself. I've been burdened with blame, trapped in the past for too long. I'm moving on. I've lived in this place and I know all the faces. Each one is different, but they're always the same. They mean me no harm, but it's time that I face it. They'll never allow me to change. But I never dreamed home would end up where I don't belong. patiently waiting for me. And I know there's no guarantees, but I'm not alone. There comes a time in everyone's life when all you can see are the years passing by. And I have made up my mind that those days are gone. Oh, I sold what I could, packed what I couldn't, stopped to fill up my way out of town. I've loved like I should, but lived like I shouldn't. I had to lose everything to find out. I know forgiveness will find me somewhere down this road. I'm moving on. I'm moving on. I'm moving on.
That's Karina.
Good morning. Wasn't that fabulous? What an awesome band you guys have here. Yeah. And what amazing, awesome ministers you have here. You know, and Lawrence and Beverly. Yeah. So it is my joy and it is my pleasure to be here on so many levels. One, as Lawrence mentioned, we go back. I still say it's a long way. He said I'm not old enough for it to be a long way. It feels like it. Feels like it's been a long time I've known you, Lawrence. But one of my other joys, you know, we're on well, let me back up a little bit. We are actually on I'm calling it a 9-week tour. So my husband, Rob, has had this dream for as long as I've known him, which has been about almost 13 years now, and that's to be an RVer. And I've always said, yeah, no. Together, yeah, no. Well, guess what we're doing? It took him 12 years, but he got me. But we're first time at it. Now, I don't know that you can say first time now that we're, 5 weeks in, but we're still first time. It's our first trip. And our very first trip, well, we went down the road about 15 miles after we bought it for one night in the park. So that was our first trip. But our very first trip, we got in it on January 3rd in Phoenix, Arizona. And we came straight to Florida on our first trip. Can you say, are you nuts? But we're having a grand time, and we're about halfway through our kind of 9-week tour, and it has been such a joy to go to several, it'll be 9, I think, different ministries, Unity Ministries, mostly through Florida. We're going to end up in Atlanta and then Arkansas, actually. But to see our friends, it's just, as ministers, we don't see our friends that often. Annual conference usually, and that's about it, once a year. And we're like, she's my best friend. Well, when's the last time you saw her? Last year. But it happens like that. And then the other joy in that is to meet students. Like Ron was in my class last fall, I guess, right? And to meet some of the students that we have. But here's something that's so cool. Lawrence doesn't even know this. Here's something that's so cool. Another one of my students is here. She's visiting from Turks. How cool is that? I mean, number one, how cool that I had a student in Turks, right? And number two, that she's here in Pompano Beach today. So welcome her. We won't put her on the spot or anything, but how cool is that? I think she came not from Turks to be here today, but maybe Miami. But anyway, point taken, right? So it's so much fun. But here's my question to you, because it seems to be, at least in my vision, my experience, that the world is a little bit chaos right now. Yes? Somebody's laughing. Not yours then, right? Only our neighbors. And so when we think about that the world is in chaos, I mean, between we won't get specific, but between the weather, the storms, the hurricanes, the tornadoes, the fires, the non-climate change that we're experiencing, I just try so hard not to say things like that, and sometimes they just come out. In our world leaders, and we'll just go broad there because we don't want to offend anybody, but everybody has an opinion about the chaos that's happening in the world and in our government and in other governments, and it's just like you go, really? And you hear something on the news and you go, really? And you hear something else on the news and go, again? And it's all over the place, you know, the discrimination and the abuse and the child neglect and all kinds of stuff. And you go, wait, we believe that God is good when all the time, don't we? So how do you reconcile that, right? How do you get it in your head that God is good when, this is the official word, stuff happens? Right? And stuff continues to happen in our world, and there's nothing wrong with that. So do you ever feel like our first slide, do we have slides? Maybe we do, maybe we don't. Oh, awesome, there's no slides. Yes! I was telling Lawrence before, I said, I try to do slides to look professional, and when they're not here, I'm like relieved, because then I don't have to follow them. But I'll tell you what the first slide was. It's the cat hanging by a nail, you know, off the high wire. You ever feel like that? And then not this one, but the other one is like let go and let God, and you're peeling one finger at a time off the, you know what I'm talking about, right? Okay, but we're not going to talk about that anymore. So I want to share a little story with you. The story of two Zen monks. And Zen monks, this particular order of Zen monks had very, very strict rules to adhere to. And one of those rules was that they couldn't speak to women. And another one of the rules was that they couldn't touch a woman. Of course, anyway. And one day these two monks, an elder monk, one who had been in the order for many, many years, and one who was a relatively new initiate, were out traveling to the local villages. And they had done their work, and they were on their way back home, and it was a many-mile walk, many-hour walk, and they came at one point to a creek. When they left, it was a creek, and it had been raining, and so it had expanded. The creek had expanded greatly, and there at the side of the creek was a young woman, and she was dressed in a beautiful dress, long dress, and she was distressed. She was at her wit's end. She had to get home. Her village was not far on the other side of the stream, and she had a child, and she was trying to get back to the village. And there was no way, the stream was moving so fast now that there was no way she knew she could cross it. And even if she could, she would totally ruin her dress. And that we'd never have that. So the older monk went up to her and he said, "What's up?" Then she told him the story, and he promptly picked her up. And he carried her across the stream, and he set her down, and they went along their way. About a half an hour later, the younger monk is fussing in his head. Just, fussing. Anybody know what fussing in your head is? Like, no, why do you do that? I can't believe he did that. Doesn't he remember our rules? And he broke our rules, and I can't believe he did it. And he's going on and on and on, and it's causing him stress in his body. And he couldn't say anything. And he kept going an hour later, an hour and a half later. Now it's been over 2 hours later. He finally says, I'm sorry, I have to say something. I can't hold it in anymore. It's making me sick. I'm so stressed, so distressed by this. And the older monk said, "Oh, well, what?" He said, "You know our rules. You know you can't touch touch a woman. You know you can't talk to a woman. And yet, what did you do? You went over, you talked to that woman, and you touched her. And not only did you touch her, you picked her up and you carried her. How could you do that? Don't you feel extreme guilt? And the older monk turned and he said, I helped a young woman in distress, but I set her down. Why are you still carrying her? So the stress that you're carrying, how much of that could you have set down 2 hours ago, or 2 weeks ago, or 2 months ago, or 2 years ago? Right? We know that in unity, our basic principles are that there is one presence and one power. We call it God. That we are, each of us are divine. We are divine. We have that divinity within us, that Christ presence within us. And that what we think about is what we experience in the world. And that through prayer and prayer and meditation, we connect to that which we call God. And our fifth principle is put it into action. So if you know that there's only one presence and it's God and it's good, how can you worry? You know, I've been speaking at a lot of Unity churches, not only on this tour, but over this last year. And I find something really interesting. I think, I don't know if this is true, but sort of my experience, I have a sense that when I come into a ministry, I want to just really make you feel better. But that wouldn't actually be doing my job. So I'm not here to make you feel better. Wait, what? I'm here to help you be better. Not that there's anything wrong with who you be, but if you would like more peace, if you would like more ease, if you would like more clarity, then I'm here to help you do that. But you can't do it without being different. So we are mental beings, obviously. Our whole Unity movement is built on mental science, the law of attraction, what we think about, what we get. But more than what we think about, it's how we vibrate. There's a whole new science called vibrational science. And it plays into the quantum realm and the quantum physics. And in the work that I do with my clients and some of my students, the work that I do is really helping people raise their vibration. I found a quote. I was teaching a class, an SEE class, a spiritual education class for the Unity movement recently, and I found a quote by Myrtle Fillmore, one of our co-founders. I mean, she died like in 1920-something. 20? I can't hear what you're saying. I'm trying to get coached here by my husband, but I can't quite make it out. A long time ago. And she writes this. She writes that when we pray, we have to lift our awareness up. She says, not up to the guy in the sky on the throne who's going to curse you or bless you, not up outside of us, but we have to raise our consciousness up. And as we raise our consciousness up, we can connect with that divine mind. We can connect with the higher vibration of the Christ consciousness. And when we touch that place, all things are possible. All things are possible. Because the truth is, we actually have two states of consciousness. You could argue that there's so many more, but for simplicity, there's two states of consciousness. There is the relative, that which we experience, our humanity, our personality, the material world, and there is the spirit. That place where our higher self is that Christ potential within. And when we're trying to fix our world or make our world better from the lower vibration, I've been studying Joe Dispenza this year. Anybody know Joe Dispenza? Mm-hmm. When we're trying to manage or change or manager change is good, are challenges, when we're trying to do it from the place of our challenge, from the place of the chaos, it's nearly impossible. Would you agree? We have that experience because how many years have we been praying for peace? And do we have peace in the world? Not very often, right? But when we can raise our vibration from the survival emotions, from the habits and patterns and addictions and hardwire of what we call our subconscious, and we can raise our awareness to that higher place, then all things are possible. Jesus said, "This and more shall you do." All things are possible with God. But we have to align ourselves, raise our vibration to be a match for that which we most desire. So let me ask you a question. Would it be all right with you if life got easier? 3 or 4 of you say yes. The rest of you have it mastered, I'm sure, right? My first book was founded on sort of that statement. It's called Falling into Ease. So subtitles, Release Your Struggle and Create a Life You Love. If that sounds interesting to you, take a breath with me and fall into ease. Take another breath and fall into ease. The workshop this afternoon, I'm going to talk about 3 very specific keys and practices that can allow you to do that. But the how-to for today, for right now, because I'm almost out of time already, is simply take that breath and drop your awareness from your head into your body and fall into this now moment. We fall into this now moment out of the past, out of the future, out of the worry, out of the stress, out of the chaos, out of the overwhelm. We fall down into this now moment, and that now moment is the presence of God, is the quantum field, is that place of love and oneness and peace. And when we find that place of love and oneness and peace in the center of our being, and we go there again and again and again, we begin to unravel some of the past. We begin to eliminate the excess stress. We learn how to navigate that overwhelm and find clarity. Because in that place of oneness and love, in that center of our being, where we are one with all that is, there cannot be separation. There cannot be chaos. Now, that doesn't mean, unfortunately, that the world on the outer will automatically change, but the world on the outer will not change until you change. Because the thing is, peace is not the absence of war or the absence of chaos or the absence of stress. However, when we find peace, chaos dissipates, stress dissipates, and we find war dissipates. But it's an inside job first. The word I'm using for that is to quantumfy our principles, to take the principles of unity that we know and that we love and to bring them even more deeply into our being, to embody them, to integrate them at a deeper level so that we begin to live that which we know to be true. So I want to share, just a brief quote out of this book. Hold on. Sorry, I thought I could do it, but not quite. See, Lawrence, it has been a long time. This book is called Paradox of Awakening, Finding Peace in a World of Chaos. It's filled with the paradoxes, like you cannot have your spiritual awakening alone, and you have to do it alone. Spiritual awakening is a moment. It's a destination, but more than that, it's a journey. All kinds of paradoxes. I think it's really great, but, you know, who am I to say? It says love and oneness cannot coexist. You know this. Love and oneness cannot coexist with anger or fear in the same plane. Love and oneness are always present. Always present. So in any given moment that you're experiencing stress or chaos, if you can remember, if you can interrupt the pattern, if you notice what you notice, interrupt the pattern, remember that love and oneness are present to fall into that place of ease, you'll be able to navigate with greater awareness. And with that greater awareness, you will find peace. I've got books in the back. I hope you come to the workshop. I feel like I didn't get to say like most of what I wanted to say, but my time's up. So I'm so happy to be here. I am dedicated 100% to the finding of peace on this planet right here and right now, and I hope you join me. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Aliza. And we will join you. Now is a time that we take every week to appreciate what we have here, our vision, our mission, our themes as we move forward, each of us in our own way, on our own path, on our own journey. But we have a lot to offer to assist in that journey. And so between our classes and our events and our guest speakers and our workshops, we give you things to chew on, things to grow on. And we hope that you will see the value in that and assist by sharing of your finances so that we can continue to support Unity of Pompano. As you know, we are totally independent of any other resources. Unity churches are independent. We don't receive money. In fact, we tithe to Unity. So we ask that you appreciate the blessings that you have in your life and that you are willing to share and place some value here and give to this as a thriving spiritual community. So won't you hold your gift in your hand, put your energy into it, feel the blessings pouring through you and from you into this place and beyond. So let's bless our gifts together. With a grateful heart, I acknowledge God as source of all that is. Today, I declare love for myself and all others. Love is mine. Love and more love is mine. And ever-increasing love is mine. Everywhere I go, I see this love. I feel it. I experience it, I freely give it, and it multiplies itself around me, and so it is. Amen.
Love your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see, yeah. Another day goes by and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. You are the world to know. We won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Hey, take a good look around, and if you're feeling down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide, conscience will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and way. And see, yeah. Put a little love in your heart. Yeah. Put a little love in your heart. Ooh, put a little love in your heart. Yeah. Put a little love in your heart.
So everybody sing, drums and voices.
Put a little love in your heart.
That's right.
Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Ooh, yeah. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Yeah. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart.
That's Karina Iglesias and the Love Unlimited Orchestra right here.
Our love band. Well, here we go with time to pay attention to positive prayer. If you would like to have prayer with our chaplains, they are lining up for you. We have Melinda and Dina and Olga over here, and Dee, Nick, and Cynthia on the north side. Oh, Sandra's going too. So plenty of chaplains. Kirsten is in the back, and also Ron Smith would be pleased to pray with you. So take advantage of that. We hope you'll grab something to eat and be back here at 1 o'clock for our wonderful workshop. And John Spira reminded me to tell you to visit our used bookstore. We have copies of the Daily Word. The January, February issue, there's a couple of those. If you don't have it yet, just go by, and they probably have a fire sale on those. And the new ones are here, April and March, for $6 for both months. Get a Daily Word. They're wonderful to hand out to friends and family and use for yourself too. So let's stand and bless each other as we conclude today. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, love is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joy as now. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with Oh, blessings are falling, falling, falling. Blessings are falling like the sweet, sweet rain. Blessings are falling, falling, falling on me. Beauty is falling, beauty is falling, is falling sing your grace. Oh Lord, I will dance forevermore. Oh Lord,
I receive your blessing.
oh Lord, I receive your